Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Guys, I'm ever so sorry for having put up a video for some time now, and I do apologize. Guys, I want to talk about something very important that I've discussed on my channel before, but instead of like shying away about these things, we just have to normalize it and know that it's a normal occurrence in life, and be willing to be open and transparent and discuss these topics, so that we can help each other into realizing that it's not just a one person situation, it's happening all over the world. And guys, I'm sitting here, I've got my glass of water, and I'm at my local Tesco, and if I'm going in, I am not sure. All I know, when I came out to make my video in my car, as I not too long came back from dropping some stuff off at the post office. Not me dropping it, but we won't go into that. We go into that another time, because there's so much stuff I could talk about, because I haven't done a video for a while, but I'm just going to stick to the topic at hand, because I tend to go off topic. But anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm at my local Tesco, and I did grab myself a glass of water with ice, so that's what I'm spilling all over myself. But yeah, this topic's been on my mind, depression, anxiety, all of those things, the low mood, the fact that you don't even know when. Let's start from the beginning, guys. With depression, I knew I suffer from depression ever since I've lost a child years when I was young. So that's my first side of knowing about depression and having depression, and then it seemed to follow me through the rest of, ever since that incident, that part of my life happened. I tend to have this depression that you have no control of. You don't know when your mood is going to drop. It's like, the only way I can describe it is like basically going in an elevator. You're up, and then you just drop, and you just don't know where that feelings come from, but it's on you, and no matter how you're trying to get out of it, sometimes it gets a hold of you so bad you cannot just snap your way out of it. That's the only way I can describe it from my experience. So that's the first time I've ever had any inkling that even knowing the word in itself, to be fair, like looking back, even knowing the word and what it is, and then years on, it doesn't affect me as bad as when everything triggered that, and I went through that period in my life when I had to go through some stuff. Like I said, modern days now, it just creeps up on me, and more or less sometimes I have no control. So, and anxiety, when I really know I have anxiety is when I move to Cornwall, because I've always heard that word, and I know, like looking back, even when I lived in Hampshire, I did have that, but when I really knew that, yeah, is when I moved to Cornwall, and having to be on my own and doing stuff by myself with the children, and having to be a black person, even though in Hampshire there's minorities, and I would say even though it's far removed in Cornwall, less black people in Cornwall, and I do find I'm a bit more comfortable, like, because when I look at the overall stuff, like for like the schooling for my children, and I had a rough old ride in Hampshire, but we won't go into that. But like I said, since I moved into in Cornwall, I thought to myself, oh my days, Rose, anxiety has added itself to your list, like to be that bad that sometimes I don't want to come out my house, sometimes I don't want to see people, sometimes, you know, I've mentioned it on my channel before, I don't want to see people, so adding in with the depression and everything else, it's just like being anxious. I don't want to do school runs, and I went through a period where, like, obviously I got closer and closer to God, and I just read my Bible a lot, and I think that, apart from if people want to prescribe stuff, I think like reading my Bible and getting closer to God, that's like one of my main let's say medication for it to control it and to have it at a minimum, you know. So that's what's happened to me for the like past couple of weeks. My mood's just been low, I just been off, I don't want to do the school run, certain people I don't want to see because of just how I perceive them towards me. Like, I remember in the summertime, before I went on holiday, one lady, I took my child, and I've mentioned it, I'm sure. One lady, I took my child to one of the kids' birthday party, and she goes to me, oh, you know, just her chatting, well, because people don't really know, it's not like I'm blaming her or anything like that, but she was like, oh, I haven't seen you at one of these for such a long time. And in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, because every week I'm just going to be saving up my pennies to come to all the parties of all the children in the school. Lardy, that in myself. But obviously, on the outskirt, I was just like smiling, thinking, you know, I'll probably mention that, hello, I've got 20-year-old boy. These are not the first parties, and I'm not going to be rushing out. And I'm thinking all sorts, like my age and everything. Like, hello, I'm not in my 20s or 30s. So I'm not going to be skipping to every party that's going on, and it's not my thing anyway. Sitting through it, it'd have to be something that I want to go to for some particular reason, whether it be my child's special friend, or I really made the effort, or whatever, if you guys catch my drift. And you know, they have their little teams, like where they have their little groups, so to speak, at school, where they mothers that maybe do a lot more or whatever, not with each other and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't want to be a part of all of that. And been there, done that, wear the t-shirts, you know. I know how to manage myself, because there's other groups, like, for example, two of my kids play football. It was 3, but my daughter don't want to do it anymore, so I kind of just leave her to it. But 2 of my kids play football, and you have to be around people at the same time as well. And it used to be a little bit more difficult, but he's played football, my eldest played football so long now, there's few mothers that I will make effort with, and I will chat to, and they become like a friend to me, and I'm comfortable with them. Like, apart from like a handful of people, and it's over a period of time. It's not just me getting up thinking, oh, I want to be friendly with this person, because I don't really do stuff like that. If I do stuff like that, it's very rare, you know. These days it's very rare. I train myself to love my own company, and like I said, because of all the other things where people look at me and think, oh, the only way I could describe it is a song that goes, people say I'm the life of the party, 'cause tell a joke or two, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm that girl, you know what I mean? People think, oh yeah, she got it all together, blah blah blah, but social environment, like, if I'm enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. Like, when I know my mood is off, I don't want to be around nobody. I just want to be in my yard. The most persons I want to be around is my children. And because over the years, they've kind of learned when mom is all high, she's high. And when she's low, she's low. So they understand, you know. And sometimes, and my kids, they train that way. The most person that probably is not 100% trained that way is Angelo, and even him, I will say to him, Angelo, not now, you know, just that, or I'll get, when I'm really bad, I'll get him to spend a bit of time with his brothers and sisters, stuff like that. So going back to this couple of weeks that just gone, my mood just went down. I don't want to come out, I don't want to do the school run. Even like I mentioned, that one mother that comes asking me questions when I see her in those playgrounds, sometimes you can just see on her face that, like, it's like a bullying type of thing. But because I'm not healing to it, of thinking that I'm going to make much of it, I just look straight through to her and do what I need to be doing and go about my business. But like, I just remember in my mind, like, I'm just thinking, if I have to look at their face anytime this week, there's something going on in regards to this Tesco stuff. I'm not sure what it is, but anyhow, that's a little noise in the background. Yeah, I'm just thinking, I don't want to be seeing your face none at all, and it's just long. So it's just like coping through those times. I remember when I was like down in depression really bad, I wouldn't even want to bath, you know. But thank God, these days it's not so bad. I'll still get up in the morning and try and make sure I have a shower. That's the only time, that's the only way I can like kind of physically sometimes, depending on how I feel, that I can get on with like ironing, making sure that I'm looking after what I need to look after in regards to the children, to get them out for school. I even had to have my son dad dropping him for the past couple of weeks, and the other children to school, because I just couldn't do it. So, but for a long period, it's hasn't really been this bad. And there's triggers, you know, people trigger me, even like when I'm thinking I'm doing my best and they want to make out like, oh, and then sometimes I'll just be like, okay, and it'll just go down, you know. But I'm like, when I'm really on top of things, I'll be aware of those people that try to trigger me to see the wrong side of me, basically, or to try and get me into that mood. And generally, most of the times, in my head, when I come across those type of people in any way, shape or form, I'm just laughing in my mind, or thinking, la-di-la-di-da, if you think you can get me away from where I am living, because I feel like people should be free to live anywhere they want to live in the world, and that's the type of mentality I am, that's the type of upbringing I have. I'm not going to let people push me out of anywhere. But there are going to be times when you're just thinking, if I have to see that person, something might happen. It's just saying. But my mood was just, and in that period as well, you have high points and you have down points, like, and I couldn't for the life of me pick up the camera. I couldn't for the life of me pick up the camera, because, and then like sometimes I wanted to vlog, and then sometimes I'm thinking, you know, I'm gonna come and share about how I'm feeling, what's happening to me, and this side of me. Do you know what I mean? This side of what I have to cope with, because I used to talk about it prior in the past a lot on my channel, and even the whole change of weather, that keep me in a bit of a funk as well. When when I see the sunshine, I'm happy. When it's raining or it's cloudy, I'm down. It's just a whole mixture of stuff. And then even in the winter, like when the cold time, my arthritis. So it's just like it's like a whole lot of people, a whole lot of. But in the same breath, I'm there thanking God. And I sat down one time and I realized, what are you doing different, Rose? And I remember, I'm not in my prayer as much, and I'm not in reading my Bible as much. Do you know what I mean? What are you doing different? Because like I said, that's one of my, when I'm on top of my devotion, when I'm on top of like reading my Bible and praying, these things, like, it's more further afield. I don't know, I'm more in like a positive mindset. I'm in a positive mood. I'm in a positive feeling. But obviously, sometimes you can get trip up. And I remember the last time I went on holiday as well. As soon as I came back, I dipped. But this time I didn't dip quite as quickly. I was fine until all of a sudden, it's like you trip on something and you just take a big dive, basically. So yeah, that's where I've been, guys. Like, just trying to ride out the storm, because most of the time that's what I do. I ride out the feeling, and I don't really want to come on my camera and just like showing the that kind of, because people want to be lifted up, not be there every day I'm there, pardon, moaning and about something. But it's good to share these things, and like normalize them and highlight them, and because a lot of persons do suffer with these things, and I said it's when it comes to the anxieties, it's over here is in Cornwall that I've realized that, oh well, let's add that to your symptoms as well, Rose, because that literally, I don't want to come out. I'm anxious. I don't want to drive my vehicle. I don't like a certain time. I'm in certain mood. I do not go in my car. I do not drive it. And yeah, guys. So that's where I've been. My mood is picking up. Yeah. And I also wanted to attach to it as well, even as women, just like going through your monthly cycle. Imagine you have a week where you're depressed, and it's leading up to that point as well. So you end up have 2-3 weeks, if you're not careful, in a downward slope because of even the monthly stuff as well, where you have to go through as women. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like trying to dig yourself out of it, trying to brush yourself off, trying to stay thankful, trying to stay grateful, looking for the things around you to be positive about, like, oh, see my children striving, or, even when I have chats with family members, like my mom or my sisters and stuff like that help, or my nieces, and, and even the other day, like, Angelo came home and he got one of the headmaster's little award thing that it's like you have it for the week. You get it on the Friday for the weekend, and it was like very positive. It's, speaking about Angelo, how he's always ready to learn, and how his behavior is always A1, stuff like that, positive stuff. I can't remember all of the affirmations, but it's like really positive affirmation about him. Those things just like bring me joy, because I'm just thinking, wow, I must be doing something right, because, and I've rolled over in my head so many times, like, yeah, Rose, you might have your own particular ways about you, but it doesn't fall far from the right lines, because, you're just talking about having respect for others. Why would I go into the schoolyard and just start trying to make somebody else feel out of place? I don't know why people do those type of things. It just remind me of going back to school when I come across stuff like that, and it just shut me down. And I don't really, I used to experience stuff when my older children were younger like that, but then I was young, so I didn't find it. It was hard, but I didn't really find it. I just and I was more feisty them times, and I probably were more outspoken at those times, just to say, listen, even whether or not they're coming up to me to kind of project it, I'll be telling them, listen, I see you, so hello, you can just retract, and I have something to say. But now I really don't say anything, so they're projecting, and I'm just trying to block it out, when something is bouncing off you. But I suppose some of it is seeping through. I'm just and I don't really go through it with all the children, because all I do is drop them, they go in. But when I take Angelo, I do experience it slightly, and I know, and like I said, when I'm in my prayer, I always pray for those people. So I suppose I have to take this one person into prayer, because there was another one, and she kind of fizzles out for some reason. She's still there at times. So it's about two, well, that particular one, but there's another one that just appear up like when something is a nemesis. And I'm just like, hello, all the school politics and all the things, you know, they've seen what my kid is about, and they know what he's there for. It's just about the learning. I don't have any problem with any of the teachers, don't have any problem with the head, and that's about it really. You know, they know what my kid is about by now. He's been there long enough, so don't want any of the mothers come in there. That's the best way I can show you. And they're staring me through, and if I show up at anything, I haven't seen. Did I book any appointment with you? Did I tell you that, you know, I don't make plans in my life. I like to do things spontaneously, because if I make plans, bear in mind what I've explained and said to you guys, I might not be able to stick by them. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really like to make plans. It's few and far between when you see me make plans. Do you know what I mean? Apart from my children, regular stuff that they need to be doing and having to do. I myself, I am not, oh, let me jot down, I'm going to see cousin Sarah on the 3rd month of so and so. I'm not that girl. If there's something comes up and I feel like, oh, I'm going, and if things happen once in a while where I can say, okay, I'm going to try and make that trip, then I'll try and focus my mind. But like setting out my year, I know people do it, each to their own. I've got no problem, and it's not like they're judging or saying there's something wrong with that, but that's not me. So they don't think that I'm going to be having I got through life barely following the itinerary of you have moms there, they're very, what would you say, organized and very, you know, I just want to know that, oh, my kid's got school today and he's there. And if there's a party and it flags up close enough for me to see it, I know he's one of his close friends, I'll try and make the effort. You know what I mean? It's very wishy-washy, but that's that's me. Everybody's different, and I hate when everybody trying to put everybody in the same box. I hate situation and people like that. It's our differences that make us beautiful and great, guys. And this is where I'm going to end out this little discussion and sharing about what's been happening, my thing with living and coping with depression and anxiety and everything else that want to be thrown at me. Do you know what I mean? At this point, am I going to go in Tesco? I don't know. But I might do, guys, and I might be back on the vlogs, try my best to vlog. And yeah, all I've been doing is watching other people's vlogs. Guys, so, you know, like, comment, share and subscribe, guys. Give me some encouraging words and tell me, Rose, scrape yourself up and make the vlogs, okay? Lots of love, lots of best wishes. This is what oh my days, somebody just drive that in front of this man and his older gentleman and his wife. You know what I mean? Can you imagine somebody just drove out in front of him? He's not best pleased and he had to brake fast. They want to be thankful he brake. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go now. Lots of love and best wishes to you all out there, and I'm truly sorry that your girl is not pressing gas when it comes to the video. I'm gonna try again. This is me breaking the ice to make sure that I share what's bothering me and what I've been coping with, and hopefully get cracking again, guys. So yeah, bye for now, guys. Bye.